All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Nemesis League Play action. We have some more divisional bangers on our hands here, coming to you guys, kicking things off in the Prospect League with Vipers versus Warhawks. I'm Rockerman, joined by Mr. Mealy. Mealy, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. It was a beautiful day today, Rocker Man. Got some time outside, went in the pool with the dog. And I'm an advocate of having those good days, especially when you have a match following that night. Just something about bringing the vibes up, right? I feel like it really does a number to somebody.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what. There's nothing like Nemesis match day, Mealy. Whenever there's a match, whenever there's streams going on, there's always a different energy in the air, and yeah, it was definitely a nice day around here as well. So yeah, I'm excited. We got some good matches tonight. Kicking things off, we're in the Prospect League here. Two teams with some good records here. Two current playoff teams at the moment. Mealy, what can you tell us about these two?
Well, I'll start with the Warhawks really quick, just because they are on top of their division at 4-1. They are kind of tied with Bandits in that record at 4-1 as well. So who knows? This match could play, a significant, bit here in a little bit of shuffling in the standings. But yeah, they have a series record of 4-1 and a game record of 13-5, which is actually quite dominant, I feel like. And on the other hand, the Vipers, their opponent, 3-2 series record, but 12-9 game record. They're not far behind, Rocker Man.
Yeah, no, they're really not. And I did get to play against the Vipers. I think the biggest difference here from the Vipers I played in week one versus now, they have Hypnoticc, who a lot of people were hyping up as a really good player there, replacing Chef, who got traded away. So we're gonna have to see if Hypnoticc can be the X factor here. But I've heard some good things about the Warhawks as well here. Obviously 4-1 on the season you mentioned, so definitely gonna be looking good here tonight. And it looks like we've got everyone locked and loaded, ready to go, Mealy. So why don't you go ahead? Why don't you give us a prediction? Who do you got in this one? Who is going to take the victory?
Well, I think for the first time this season, I'm casting a team that's not one of my own, so I feel like I can actually give a legitimate prediction here now. I think the series is going to go to Game 5, though. Honestly, I see all six of these players hopping in the game now, and they're all threats. And I've gotten to see a little bit of gameplay from my prospect team against, especially like the Warhawks, and they're good. They're really good. I'm going to take Warhawks in 5, though.
Warhawks in 5. Well, we're going to have to see as we are going to get things underway here in week number 3. The second set of divisional matchups here. We got Vipers on the green here with Bradwick, Snack Rat, Brindy the Blade, and Hypnoticc. And then Warhawks with Neons, Okasi Taka, and Luckyy here, who a lot of people have been talking up Luckyy, Amelia. A very good player last season, and some are saying he's definitely in the talks of early MVP caliber player.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not really too surprised about that. From the games that I've seen from Luckyy, he's a very mechanical player as he comes up with a very good low boost save there. Yeah, he's got what it takes. He, if given time, will absolutely punish defenses. So for a lot of people saying to look out for Luckyy, I would definitely say the same.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be one player to watch for. And again, I mentioned it, I'm definitely watching out for Hypnoticc on the other side. We've seen Brindy and Bradwick Snack Wrap, who, one of my favorite casting names, by the way, Bradwick Snack Wrap right there. Maybe one of my favorite names in Nemesis all time right there. But yeah, definitely going to be watching to see how Hypnoticc can fill into this roster here on the other side, as right now the Vipers have started out with a little bit of the pressure here in the Warhawks end. As Brad, this one going to pop out in the midfield, getting sent towards net. Luckyy racing up to it, can't find a touch at Hypnoticc. There he is, putting it in. First goal goes to the Vipers.
Yeah, that's that player for the Vipers that you were talking about there, Rockman. Hypnoticc with a great double tap, putting the Vipers up 1-0.
Yeah, and that's a huge start right there against your divisional rivals. Obviously, these two teams have played a divisional matchup on Monday here, but this one was the one, Mealy, that they're circling on their calendars. Vipers 3-2, Warhawks 4-1. It's an early game, but it could very well decide who is going to take the lead and maybe eventually take this division.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said before, this game could have a lot of stakes to it, as it's two teams that are very good in what seems to be a very good division all around, to be honest. So, I mean, this game could really, have some implications for further down in the season. I guess we'll just have to find out and see.
Yeah, we will have to keep our eyes out, as many of you probably are aware. The winner of the division gets an automatic playoff berth, so both these teams know how important these sets of divisional games are. Get the first set this week and one next week, one match next week, and then at the end of the season, last 3 matches are divisional. So both these teams trying to start things out strong right now. It's the Vipers who have the early lead. This one popped up by Brindy. Warhawks gonna keep it around. Brad looking to take control here, looking to send it out. Brad still staying with it, trying to flick it out in the midfield. Luckyy gonna find a touch. Follow up coming through. Neon's gonna get it out as Brindy keeping the offense there. A big bump from Hypnoticc, gonna open up some space. The demo comes through. Warhawks not looking to go for it. And right now, Mealy, I feel like we're watching a very slow slash controlled game at the moment.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it kind of feels like we're in a little bit of a stalemate, as soon as you pass it off, Luckyy is gonna get the equalizer for the Warhawks.
Yeah, this one, Neon's throwing it high off the backboard. Brad, no boost to get up to it, and Luckyy, that man is quick. Two of the people we are definitely keeping our eyes on, Luckyy and Hypnoticc, striking in there, Mealy. But yeah, besides that goal right there and the earlier one, it does seem like it's very controlled game at the moment.
Yeah, you know, both teams are kind of still feeling each other out, I'm sure. And, you know, we talk about this all the time when we're streaming games. There are some stream nerves, surely. I know a couple of these names I feel like usually play a lot faster, as it seems like every time I'm talking now here, Rocker Man, we're seeing more goals.
That's just how it goes. It's like a half caster's curse. I don't know what you call that one, but maybe it's the color commentator's curse. I don't know, but regardless, Brindy the Blade is coming through, retaking that lead real quick right there. A nice shot and finish from Brindy.
Yeah, I'm all for action, Rocker Man. I don't care if that's what it takes is for me to start talking for more goals to be scored. Then I'll talk the entire time if I have to.
Hey, fair enough. We love some goals, love the content, and Luckyy is trying to get one of his own. Oh my goodness. And that one gonna be saved away by Hypnoticc, who has a wide open net. Brindy is trying to hunt the last man 50 coming through. It's gonna be own goal. Hypnoticc gets the goal, but Warhawks can't keep it out of their net.
Yeah, Rockman, that was just very unfortunate. It's a great defensive effort by Neons, getting the touch needed. Unfortunately, Akasitaka puts himself in the wrong spot just to unfortunately get a small touch on the ball, giving the Vipers a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, that one is a tough one. The ball's coming back towards your net, and you're trying to get to it. And unfortunately, Akasi just found himself in the wrong spot right there. Could not get that one out, and instead puts it in his own net. It's a nice little pass coming down to Akasi, trying to get to that one. Not quite. This one can be sent off to the side. Vipers holding on to a 3-1 lead here in game number 1. Hypnoticc going to take this one around, trying to send it towards the middle, dropping it down right in the midfield, and Bradvick snack wrap comes through. The Vipers offense is cooking right now.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it seems like the Vipers have kind of figured it out so far in this game 1. It seems like the Warhawks aren't really able to keep up with the pace, as we see a nice passing play from Hypnoticc over to Brad to give them a 3-goal lead with just over a minute left.
Yeah, they've really found some good passes, some great opportunities here, and given them the early lead here in game 1. But a minute remaining. Warhawks gonna see if they can find something back. This one's sent down in the corner. Okasi finds a touch. Brad off the backboard. Big bump comes through. Hypnoticc thought about that one. Gonna back things up there. He's taking this one up high. Gonna push it out. Okasi trying to grab that one. Is this one up in the air? Opportunity, flip reset. Going over the top is Brindy, sending it towards the net, but Neons is right there. Brad coming through for the follow off the backboard. Not quite going to go, but this one heading right back in the middle. Kasitaka forced to make another save there as Neons is trying to clear it away, and merely with 30 seconds remaining, barring a last second miracle, it looks like the Vipers should be able to hold on and take game 1.
Yeah, it's not really exactly how this game started out. I mean, if you asked me in the first 2 minutes who was going to win the game, I would have had no idea. So they were just kind of bouncing back and forth. But like I said before, Vipers seem to have found a way to win this game and give themselves a nice lead, a more dominant win, as Akasitaka is going to, decrease that win or that lead by 2. I mean, technically it's not over though, Rocker Man.
Yeah, that one, Luckyy didn't quite put it on net, but Okasi right behind, and yeah, technically not over. 6 seconds. Gonna need some sort of miracle here on the kickoff, and then something at 0 seconds. And that one is not the miracle they were looking for, as it's almost put in their own net. It's gonna touch the ground, and the Vipers are gonna hold on to win a game number 1. A big game win from them, Mealy right there, led by Hypnoticc, leading the way.
Yeah, Hypnoticc and Brad. I also want to shout out Brad as well, putting up good numbers all across the board. I mean, Brindy also putting a goal on as well. The entire Vipers roster putting in the work that they needed to come out with that win. Honestly, if I'm the Warhawks, I'm looking to make the Vipers a little bit uncomfortable. It just seems like, you kept saying too, Rockerman, like there was a lot of control from both sides. And it seems like when the game is being controlled, the Vipers are going to be the ones to come out on top. So maybe the Warhawks need to adjust their strategy and try to maybe make the Vipers a little bit more uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, I think a pace change could definitely be in order here as we look on towards game number 2 and the Warhawks. I've heard they have some great offense, so hopefully we can see some more of it in game number 2. See if they can bring things back, or if the Vipers can take a commanding 2-0 lead over their divisional rivals here. As we are gonna move on into Urban Central for game number 2. Kickoff goes Hypnoticc and Okasi right to Brindy, though, who's going to fire it right towards the net, and he's going to put it right in. 3 seconds into game 2. The Vipers take the lead again.
Picking up right where they left off, Rockerman. Getting a very early game 2 lead on a kickoff goal. But you know what I always say, and anybody who knows me or played with me, I'll always say, they left way too much time left on the clock. The Warhawks have 4 minutes, pretty much an entire game, actually, to be able to get an equalizer.
Yeah, I think it's almost as much time as possible. Merely they almost couldn't have left more time if they tried on the clock here. So we're gonna have to see if they can utilize that time to come back here. They've got a lot of it, but Brad is trying to make it even more difficult as he's gonna fire it home. A 2-0 lead.
Yeah, again, it just seems like the Warhawks are just making themselves a little bit too awkward, and the Vipers are just kind of letting them do that and just capitalizing on the mistakes. A 2-0 lead for the Vipers. I mean, like I said, there's still 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Again, an entire game. There's still too much time on the clock, though.
Yeah, there is. And Brad's had another one right there, trying to make it a even more insurmountable lead. But instead, this one can be banged a long way. Hypnoticc has to get up. Nice touch from them. This one to push back in the corner. That 2-goal lead early on here as they're trying to take a 2-0 series lead as well. The Warhawks gonna have a little bit of a hill to climb. Sakasi pushed that one in the corner. Ball pushed out here. A little bit awkward there. Neon's going up for it. Can't quite find the second follow-up touch. This one fired towards net. Luckyy and Okasi gonna double commit. As Luckyy is trying to get it out here. Can't quite find the second. This one popped over the top. One going up high. Okasi gonna get 50 out. The ball floating in the midfield, but Neon's is able to get back just in time there to push that one away. But this one, Brad is harassing the net. Okasi gonna send this one down, but a big missed touch from Brindy could lead to an open shot, but a double commit is gonna pinch that one away. And nearly right now, the Warhawks just seem like they're discombobulated. Double commits, missed touches, missed plays. It seems like just a little bit of a mess right now.
Yeah, and like I said, between the games, the Vipers are totally fine allowing this to happen. They know that they can win the control game, and the Warhawks need to really change how they're going about this. They need to find a way to activate Luckyy, and I know Luckyy does thrive with space, as he's a very mechanical player, but he might end up having to create his own space.
Yeah, he might, and they're going to need some of that space as Brad McSnackrap sends this one in. Hypnoticc over the top of 2. Just double committing, and it looks like there was a demo on the backside as well. Brindy definitely known for those demos, taking out the last man, but yeah, that's a 3-0 lead right here. And the Warhawks, whoa, is that one a little bit dangerous? Actually gonna work out in their favor almost there, but it's just, they're just looking really awkward right now. And like you mentioned, the Vipers are letting them do it here. And now 3 minutes left immediately. I don't know if well, actually, this one's going to go all the way in. Luckyy actually going to catch the defense off guard. I was going to say, is there enough time? And, well, I think now definitely so.
Yeah, it looks like there was a miscue now on the Vipers side, as it seemed like Brad thought his teammate was going to turn around to go back to net and collect the ball. But, I mean, accidents happen, miscues will happen. Honestly, I don't really think of it too much as a bad mistake, just an unfortunate miscue. But we'll see how the rest of this game goes, and we'll see if that one goal could be what the Warhawks needed to kind of get some kind of counter going.
Yeah, see, that's the spark they were looking for. This one's sent back in the corner. Popped up, trying to get over the top of one. Hypnoticc find the touch. Brindy diving in over the top of Okasi. There's a 50 coming through, taking it across. Luckyy might have some space here, but Brad is just going to deny it away. Don't let him get any room. As Hypnoticc sends it back in. Okasi gonna Find the touch, push to the corner. Hypnoticc finds one off the backboard. Out to Ocasi, who's sending it down. No one quite over there to receive it, though. It just ends up as a long clear, but a mistouch there. Brad able to get back to his Neons. Sending it back in, looking for another touch. Big demo comes through by Brad. As this one's sent all the way down, it's just Luckyy trying to do something. Here's a big 50 comes through, but going to be denied away. So we're now down to 2 minutes remaining here, Mealy. The Warhawks still trying to get a little bit of offense, but not quite able to break through. Still 2 minutes, though.
Yeah, this is looking very similar to, again, how that, beginning or middle part of that first game was looking like. And, obviously we saw from that game, Vipers took full advantage of that. Warhawks really need to find a way to break out, though, and kind of get something going. I like this demo coming out from Ocasi Taka, but unfortunately, Brindy the Blade is going to get the 4th goal, giving the Vipers a 3-goal lead here.
Yeah, and Brindy just pops this one a little lofter, right bar down and in, and right over the top of the defense. And the Vipers are just feeling themselves right now. A 4th goal in this one, a minute 30 remaining, and their offense, it's just catching the Warhawks off guard. I feel like right now, Mealy, just not able to find that defensive stop.
Yeah, again, they just seem very uncomfortable. They need to find something to work for them. They're not really creating opportunities for each other. I feel like sometimes you're just watching and they're just hitting the ball and seeing what sticks. And that one's going to stick, Rockerman, as Luckyy, again, puts it down to a 2-goal deficit.
Yeah, Luckyy going to make the quick turn, quick fire, a little bouncer right over the top of Brindy, who can't quite connect with it. And a good answer right there, but the time now starting to be a little bit of a factor here. 1:15 remaining. As Luckyy is going to dive on this one. Maybe a kickoff play there as Neons. He found the follow. Ocasi is coming up looking for the shot there. A bump attempt coming through. Hypnoticc dropped it down. Brad is going to race back and help out, but only for a moment here. This one sent off to the side. Luckyy throwing this one high off the backboard. Hypnoticc trying to get up to it. He is going to win that one. Able to clear it away. So we're down to the final 50 seconds here of regulation. This one off to the side. Neons trying to find that read. Can't find that touch though. Ocasi down to Neons. Off the backboard. Hypnoticc. Great backboard defense. Able to clear it away as Luckyy sends it back in. Ball out in the midfield. Some bump attempts coming through. This one going to be pushed over the top of the defense. Floating back in the zone. That one not quite going to be able to be touched. It's off to the side now. Final 30 seconds remaining. Warhawks need to send one in quickly, but the Vipers are trying to do it of their own there. Hypnoticc gonna send it in, maybe finding the dagger here in game 2.
Yeah, that very well might be the dagger. 24 seconds is, like we were looking at that last game, pretty much a miracle needed for the Warhawks. I mean, anything can happen here, but it seems like the Vipers just have full control of this game as well.
Yeah, they really are just powering home the offense. The Warhawks just a little bit discombobulated, but Neon's trying to get one back. Brindy, great race back by him. Able to push that one away. As this ball popped up, trying to get it down in the midfield, looking to find a dunk. Luckyy is going to send it in, finding the hat trick. But again, it might be a little bit too late here. 9 seconds left.
Yeah, it might be a little bit late, Rockerman, but this game they scored 3 goals as of right now. 9 seconds left. Who knows? It could be a 4th, but that's more than they had in that first game. They are progressively getting better throughout these 2 games, and I'm a big fan of possible reverse sweeps, and I think it's possible. The Warhawks just have to stay positive and kind of play their game, and again, like I said before, like find their way.
Yeah, they did seem a little bit lost in those first 2 games, just a little bit off at times, especially on the defensive end. They were able to get some more offense, definitely led by Luckyy there, who put on quite a show. 3 goals, 3 saves on the board from him. But yeah, the offense just wasn't quite what we were looking for in that, or the defense, excuse me, wasn't quite what we were looking for in that game number 2. Vipers putting up 5 goals, able to take that win. So as we head into game 3 now, Mealy, I mean, what do you need to see out of the Warhawks? I know you mentioned staying positive, believing you can win it here, but what else do you need to see from them in game 3?
Well, I'm going to answer this by kind of speaking a little bit about the Vipers, actually. And again, I'm noticing, right, with this scoreboard we're seeing here, that the Vipers played yet again very well as a team, everybody contributing. And what I noticed in the middle of that last game, though, Rockman, is after the Vipers went up a couple goals, they were perfectly content having someone sit back and playing defense. And it seems like that might be why, or one of the reasons that the Warhawks were able to score a couple of goals. So I think if the Warhawks need or want to win and come up with a potential reverse sweep here, they're going to have to really get on the gas gas pedal from the beginning. They're going to have to be the ones to score first. Make the Vipers feel a little bit uncomfortable. That's all they need to do. If they make them feel uncomfortable and put them on their back foot, then who knows what could happen.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you completely. You got to come out here with the first goal. If you're going to start a reverse sweep, I mean, you have to win this game, so you got to start out with the first goal, in my opinion. You don't want to put yourselves down again. Don't let the Vipers get comfortable. This one out of the midfield, and oh my goodness, they're almost going to do it off the kickoff there. But Brindy, a great race back, but Neon's, he's not done yet. It's dropping down, and Okasi is going to drop it in a picture-perfect start for the Warhawks.
I don't know if someone was listening to the stream at all, but to me, this looks like a completely different team, and it's only 9 seconds into the game, but both Neons and Luckyy, and actually Okazutaka as well, they were all playing very aggressive there. They wanted that first goal. They went and got it, and again, this could be that momentum shift that they were looking for.
Yeah, it definitely could be. I was just reading a little bit from Cozy Boy saying these two scrimmed not too long ago, and Warhawks were able to take it. Obviously, scrims, discount them as you will here, but the Warhawks, I feel like they believe that they can win this series, and attacking with that offense early is definitely a step in that direction to try to bring it back here. Still a long road, but one goal lead will suffice for now, as this one popping up in the midfield. Neon's gonna send it up high. A little bit of a double commit from Vipers. Gonna pinch off the corner. Could be an opportunity. Luckyy, he's gonna have to find a 50. Is this one sent down? Pushed up. As the Warhawks now looking to attack. Neon's off the backboard. Another double commit comes through from the Vipers as it's sent away. Luckyy trying to get it back down, looking for another 50. This one sent up high. Okasi sending it down, looking for Luckyy, but Brindy is gonna jump up to it. Luckyy looking to give control as Bradvick Snackrap taking a double demo there, opening up some space, and that's something we've seen as well throughout this series, Mealy, is I feel like Brad and Brindy have just been obliterating the demos, and this one could be saved away.
Yeah, and that kind of goes into what I was saying before too, Rockerman. Like, they're playing very well together as a team. They're creating space for each other, and they're utilizing the space that they give. It's not really what you're seeing from the Warhawks, and it could be the reason why the Vipers have been able to score so much.
Yeah, those demos can really open up some space for your team here, and definitely open up some space early. As this one fired towards the net, and another save forced out by Luckyy. A great powerful shot there from Brad, and a great pass infield, just a little bit too high for Hypnoticc. Brad turning back on, it can be bumped off of it. So Kasi trying to send it in, but speed from Hypnoticc, looking to keep the pressure. Now he's looking for a demo. Luckyy over the top of one. They're past two, just Brindy back there. Gonna have to make a touch. This one is gonna pop up really high. Brindy get a touch, able to send that one away. Luckyy diving on this one. To be sent to by Hypnoticc, trying to take it over the top as more demos raining down on the pitch. This time it's Neon's opening up a little bit of space for his team here as we're nearing the halfway point right now. The Warhawks still holding on to the 1-0 lead, but they have been on defense for a little bit more in this first half.
Yeah, they have been on defense, but I do want to point out that it seems like the Vipers really are looking a little bit more uncomfortable. The Warhawks have been actually putting on some pressure on the Vipers, and the Vipers just haven't been getting the exact touches that they are trying to go for. And you can see, there's some more awkward moments coming out from the Vipers as Bradvick Snackrap is going to clean up that one and tie the game up.
Yeah, there have been some awkward moments as demos raining out here, and this one just goes up there. Okasi maybe thinking the bump was coming, but just didn't quite jump up to that one, and Viper is going to come back through and tie it up there, and the offensive pressure from them once again adding up. And now the Warhawks, again, maybe not in the necessarily a playing from behind moment, but when you're down in the series, Mealy, and you're tied, you are playing from behind.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm the Warhawks here, one goal is all right. It's still a tie game, and almost get another one there from Neons, but you got to be thinking, it's not the end of the world. We've been in this situation before. We know what we can do as a team. We've shown already that we can score and we can put pressure on them. So let's just keep doing our thing, and let's keep the pressure going and go and get a second goal here.
Yeah, you got to find one here if they're going to want to win and keep this series alive against their divisional rivals. This one popped up. Hypnoticc, 50 with Okasi. As Brindy gonna win this one out of the midfield. Another win comes through. Brindy trying to turn it back down, looking to find the 50, but Okasi able to race back there as Brad is gonna steal that boost in the corner there. The Warhawks now trying to take it out. Luckyy sending it over the top, looking to try to find a dunk through, but can't quite. This one again off the corner, and that one sent out. A nice little passing play right there. Vipers really finding each other. On those passes, this one's out of the midfield. No one from the Warhawks looking to go. Two of them are going to jump. Another follow-up comes through, and it's going to find the bottom of the net. Hypnoticc puts it in.
Yeah, this is kind of like what we've been seeing all series long. Vipers utilizing each other as a team. They've been passing, they've been putting it off the backboard, they've been going for bumps, going for demos, anything to create some space for each other, and it has been working, Rockerman.
Yeah, it really has. Those passing plays have been so good, and that one, another one gonna find its way in. Brindy Snack Wrap sends another one home, and now the Warhawks in desperation mode.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate one for if you're the Warhawks or a Warhawks fan for that matter. However, even though it is a gut-wrenching punch, it doesn't mean that the game is over. Still a minute left, down 2, but even though there is that much time left, yeah, you gotta get going now.
Yeah, they gotta get going, and they haven't really had too much on the offensive end, but that one can be sent a long way. Brad barely able to reach up to that one at the last millisecond there, able to parry that one away. This one now off the backboard. Warhawks gotta start diving, gotta start putting the pressure on Neons. Gonna bang this one high off the backboard. It's dropping down. Can they find the read? That one gonna be shot towards the net, but Brindy is gonna make the touch. Somehow able to block that one away despite all the chaos. As it's 50 down the midfield now. Time is ticking. 18 seconds now. Warhawks taking it slow. Akasi over the top of one, trying to find another. The big demo though. Brindy erasing an attacker. They need a score with at least a second on the clock. This one is floating towards the net. Hypnoticc just gonna get a touch off to the side there. It's popped up. Can they score with time on the clock? No, they cannot. They can't even score at all there, unfortunately. And the Vipers are gonna hold on, get the brooms out, sweeping their divisional rivals there, and improving to 4-2.
Yeah, that is a big win for the Vipers. And like I said, a divisional win is huge, especially because they were the one who was down a game here, and they're gonna put it up to what now? Tied against with the Warhawks now. They're both 4-2.
Correct.
And that's gonna be huge. I was gonna mention it beforehand, didn't really have the time as we were getting going, but these divisional matchups could actually play a huge factor come down the wire. I know, like I said, we have another set of divisional games at the end of the season, but you want to be on top of your divisional opponents just in case it comes down to that head-to-head tiebreaker. So this is a very important win for the Vipers. I feel like they did it in a very dominant fashion. They played super well, scored goals, and it seemed like they were just very comfortable playing defense, and it worked for them.
Yeah, no, it definitely did, and Hypnoticc definitely was someone to watch in that series for sure. I think they definitely look a lot better than when we saw them in week 1. So props to the Vipers there, able to take that victory and improve to 4-2. It's gonna be a big win for them, like you mentioned. Taking the tiebreaker early against another divisional rival who's had a good season so far. Warhawks now going to drop to 4-2, so it's going to be a tie atop that division there. Potentially, the Bandits are also 4-1 at the moment. Going to be taking on the Rooks today, so we'll see how that one pops out. Bandits very well could move to the top of that division, so that division also looking pretty stacked. I know we talked. There was a lot of talk about that Central division. Looking very good there with 3 teams with 4+ wins, but now in the Mountain Division too, merely they have 3 teams with 4 wins. So really some great divisions out here in the Prospect League with some tight competition.
Yeah, absolutely. We love to see this though in the Nemesis Gaming League. We love to see competitive divisions. I love it so much when you never know who's gonna come out where, and it really does come down to that last week or two when you have 4 teams fighting for one last play-in spot. It gets absolutely insane, and that's when we start to see what I think to be the best Rocket League be played.
Oh yeah, usually at the end, that's when it gets the most tense right there. The teams have kind of revved up the whole season, got to the end, and now you're playing your divisional rivals here. It's win or go home a lot of the times when it comes down to the end, and like you mentioned, these ones are just kind of the stepping stones to get to that point. An early win against your division, it may not seem like too much, it might not be too important now, but those tiebreakers, divisional head-to-head is the second tiebreaker after straight head-to-head. It's about the division, how you did against your division. So getting these divisional wins so crucial for both these teams, and the Vipers gonna be happy to walk away with that one and take home the victory. So big shout out to them, and also another big shout out here to Jax in the chat here, coming back for 36 months. Happy birthday, 3 years. from Mr. Jacksoy. Much appreciated. Thank you for the support, and yeah, best of luck to your teams tonight. Hopefully you find some W's out there in the divisional matches. And yeah, Mealy, any final words before we head to a short break?
No, I got nothing really much else, but I will say I am looking forward to the next couple of matches that we have scheduled for tonight. For those of you who may not know, coming up next, we do have Distortion, who's at 1-4, versus the Knights, who are at 3-2. And again, reminder that these are all divisional games as well, so you know they're going to be competitive. And then following that, coming 9:30 for our last match for tonight, we have the 2-3 Bishops against the also 2-3 Assassins. Should be yet another good one. I'm excited to watch those.
Yeah, no, there are definitely going to be some good ones. You're not going to want to miss it for sure. One more quick shout out to USAF Messi coming back for 9 months. Much love to you, Mr. Messi. And yeah, I guess with that being said, maybe one more reminder before we head to break. If you guys are enjoying the streams, feel free to support if you're willing and able to. All subs and bit donations here on the stream, and any revenue generated from the streams is going to go back to our commentators and streamers this season. So if you're enjoying, feel free to subscribe, feel free to follow, feel free to keep watching the channel, support our commentators, support our streamers as we continue to grow Nemesis and heading into season 12 and beyond there. And looks like Messi is going to do just that. Thank you for the gifted subs. 5 gifted from Messi. Much love to you, and much love to everyone supporting and hanging out. But yeah, that is going to do it for us for now. We're going to head to a short break. But like Mealy mentioned, when we come back, we got a good one to the Rival League. We got Distortion taking on the Knights. You guys don't want to miss it. Stick around.